So in this video we're gonna be layering drum samples in Ableton Live's Drum Rack. Besides how to actually do it technically, I'll also be focusing on my approach when layering drums and explain why do we actually do that. What is going on, people? It's Low Heat and welcome to my channel where I focus on Ableton Live tutorials, Ableton Push 2, the Machine MK3, beat making videos and all that kind of good stuff. So if you're into that, make sure you're subscribed with notifications, and if you enjoy the video, I would appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. And now let's get right into layering those drums. Okay, so for starters we have this kick drum on pad 1 and a stick on pad 2. So the idea when layering drums is not to just pile drum samples on top of one another. You need to have a strategy or a reason to do it. The idea is to layer sounds that complement each other and blend them cohesively into a new sound that they both contribute their characteristics to. As we can hear, this kick drum is really short and punchy. It has a very punchy attack, but not much of a body or decay. So a good idea would be to layer it with a kick drum that's kind of the opposite. The kick drum, which has a nice long tail. Let me go with this one. So layering in the drum rack is quite simple. You just drag the new sample on top of the previous one and you hold the Command key on Mac or the Control key on Windows before releasing your mouse button. So now Ableton has created an instrument track which is nested inside pad 1 of the drum rack. And as you can see, the instrument track contains two chains, which are basically our two layers with the two kicks. By the way, if you don't see the instrument track, you need to press this button to open it. So our first bass drum, we're only gonna be using the attack portion of this one. So I'm gonna move the endpoint closer to the beginning. Basically shorten the sample and use the fade out. So now we have a very short, clicky attack. The other kick drum, and this one is too long actually, so let's fade in the attack. And again, I'm just gonna use a portion of this one, so I'm gonna shorten it. Use the fade out to remove the excessively long attack. So now when we add the first kick, we have a kick drum that combines the qualities of both kicks. And of course we can adjust it to taste. We can fade it out a bit more. And of course we can adjust the levels because the instrument track, it has its own mixer. So we can adjust the levels and use all the settings in the simpler to make it sound the way we like it. Maybe we can transpose it. Okay, so I just pitched this down one semitone. So I think the kick is okay for now. Let's go to our stick. So this one is pretty thin sounding. It's just a side stick. Layer it with a snare drum. Again, I hold Command before dropping the snare drum on top of the stick. Again, maybe fade in the attack of the snare. Maybe shorten the stick a bit. So this sounds pretty decent. Let's add some reverb on the whole thing. Just gonna drop here. I'm gonna use the hybrid reverb and it has a really nice quality to the drums. Shorten the decay. So I also got the shaker thing. Let's layer it with a hi-hat. So again, I'm gonna fade in the shaker and just use the hi-hat as an attack. Turn down the volume of the hi-hat. Just to finish it off, I'm gonna load a drum bus so that the whole drum rack goes through the drum bus. Let's create a drum pattern with this one. So I'm gonna go back to the kick and fine tune it a bit. We can layer more stuff on the snare actually. Let me go for something different. Maybe layer a tambourine on top of the snare. I can now just slot it into the instrument track and it will create a third layer. Let me just try it with another temp. Make the tambourine a bit longer by adding more reverb to it. Ended up with the quartz algorithm. Sounds pretty good, I think. I'm gonna load a sample from my chords and melodic loops pack. You can check it out from the link down in the description of the video, just to see how it works in the context of a beat. I've just loaded this loop here. So thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Drop me a comment if you have any questions. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if it was useful for you and you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and see you in the next video.